Hi there, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and this is the Legally Blind Geek YouTube channel. Got a quick question for you. In today's video, we're going to take a look at an often misunderstood reality of vision loss. Does that sound like something that you've got an opinion on? Maybe you have questions about? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into the reality of vision loss and how it affects not only the visually impaired, but those of us around that live with it and have to overcome the same challenges that the visually impaired person does. Sound good? Check this out. Okay, let's get into the meat of the situation here. Okay, for additional information on the reality of vision loss and how it impacts folks, check out my latest book, Coping with Vision Loss. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Having said that, let me ask you a question. Are you challenged by vision loss directly or indirectly? And by that, what I mean is, a lot of us that are VIPs, visually impaired people, we influence those around us because a lot of folks don't really understand what vision loss is. For some, they might be nearsighted. For others, they may be farsighted or legally blind like myself. And there's a wide variety of vision loss situations that impact all of us. And as a friend or family member, it can be frustrating because as a visually impaired person or somebody that's suffering from vision loss, we tend to compensate for our inability to be able to see very clearly and perform tasks that require a lot of visual stimulation. It could be as simple as organizing seasoning on a shelf in the kitchen. I might want to put it somewhere where I can remember where it's at because I can't see what's on the label. And my wife, bless her heart, she likes to put it in another situation so it's organized for her and her baking. So we kind of have this little tete-a-tete back and forth from time to time because she can't find the baking soda because I put it up on the top shelf because I don't use the baking soda all that often. I use the seasoned salt, garlic powder, stuff like that, so I put it down in the front of the cabinet so that I can just reach up there and grab it. It makes it easier for me. So in that respect, I'm making it more difficult on my loving wife to partake or, practice her baking skills. It doesn't stop there. There's all kinds of things that visually impaired people want to do or organize stuff or lay things out better for them. And a lot of people don't understand that. Even the folks that live with it from day to day, we get bored with it, or we get pressed for time, or we just get frustrated in having to take the time or make these concessions. Make sense? You get experiences like that? I'd be interested in hearing about what you have, challenges. Excuse me. Post them in the comment section down below so we can all kind of work back and forth and learn from one another. Make sense? And, while I'm on that bandwagon, so to speak, it doesn't just happen in the kitchen. It can happen in the bathroom. It can happen all sorts of different places. So the reality of low vision for me as a visually impaired person and the challenges that we learn to deal with are going to be different than my daughters and my wife, sons, and my friends that deal with me on a routine basis. And part of that is a lot of times I will say things that I am thinking is going on, that is what I think, my mind's eye or whatever, I think I see what's going on, that may not exactly be true. Let me explain. At a ball game or something like that, like softball, I may say something like, she was safe sliding into the bag or running across the bag, because I hear a thump, thump. And the thump was, in my interpretation, her foot hit the bag before the ball hit the glove. Make sense? So in that respect, I'm saying she was safe because of what I heard. Now, what I didn't see was, I didn't see, say, the first baseman. Say she was running to first base. See, I didn't see that the first baseman had her foot off the bag. So, yeah, the foot hitting the bag happened before the ball hit the glove, or vice versa, or maybe the ball hit the glove. In this case, she had her foot off the bag. The first baseman had her foot off the bag. The ball hit the glove first before the runner's foot hit the bag. She was out. Well, no, the first baseman didn't have their foot on the bag. Does that make sense? So there's all kinds of situations like that that I will make a statement, or I will say something that sounds like a statement and I really mean as a question, or maybe not, I don't mean it as a question, that's what I interpret it to be, but I'm not opposed to you saying, listen guy, you didn't see what was going on. The first baseman had her foot off the bag, so she couldn't possibly have been out. Okay, I stand corrected. So what I perceived initially as a visually impaired person, relying on my whatever, my mind's eye, what I thought I saw in my ear to reinforce that, because what I heard is not necessarily the case, not necessarily the truth. And this is part of the reality of vision loss. As somebody that's lost their eyesight or doesn't see very well, we have these other indicators that help us form our opinions as to what's going on around us that will frustrate the normally sighted folks, challenge the normally sighted folks to stop and think, oh, wait a minute. The guy is blind. He didn't see that, so he was thinking whatever he was thinking, but it was incorrect. Let me correct him so he knows what's going on, or she's going on. Make sense? So these are all part of the reality of vision loss. Sometimes we hear things or we smell things that reinforce what we think is going on, but really isn't going on. Straighten this out. Make sense? So that's just a real quick, down and dirty, my view of what the reality of vision loss is. I'd be really interested in discovering what you think. What's your reality? What do you believe vision loss is, what it represents? Whether you're one of those guys or ladies that has kind of learning to deal with age-related vision loss, or you've been nearsighted all your life and you see stuff up close but far away, you might do the same thing. You might think you saw something that really didn't happen. How do you deal with that? Let's get a conversation going in the comment section down below. In addition, I'd appreciate it if you take a look at my book, Coping with Vision Loss. Share it with a friend. There's a lot of useful information in there that will help not only a visually impaired person, but their friends and family learn to cope with and discover what their reality of vision loss happens to be. Sound like a good idea? I'd really appreciate it. It'd help me out if you would, check out the description. Get yourself a copy. You can get it in paperback or you can get the digital download. And one of the good things about the digital download that folks don't think about sometimes, especially if you're using like an iPhone or an iPad, once you've got that Kindle downloaded onto your device, you can always use VoiceOver to narrate it for you, to read it to you. So you don't have to necessarily get a, talking book. You can buy the digital copy, use your screen reader. It'll accomplish the same purpose. Sound good? Thank you so much for considering subscribing to the channel, giving us a thumbs up, or if you think I'm full of bull hockey, just give us a thumbs down. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I do appreciate that. I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe. Catch you in the next one.